Hey, it's your girl Kim Brooks, aka KimOnTheWeb.com. Want to share a word to anyone who has experienced the loss of a loved one, especially during the holidays, or if anyone has experienced loss and during the holidays, we know that that's a time where you kind of may feel down or sad, mainly because you missed the person. I definitely understand. My mom went home to be with the Lord 2 years ago, and I love her dearly. I know she's with Jesus. I know she's with God. But I know the word talks about to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. But you still miss them, and I still miss my mom. And but I have a blessed assurance that she's with God, because God told me, and even she gave me an assurance. So I just thank God, because when she passed, thankfully I was with her, and just before she went home, she said, "Kim, do you see those two people?" And I'm like, "What two people?" And then she kept saying about the two people, and then right after that, she took one breath, and then she had gone on. Her spirit had gone on to be with the Lord. And I personally believe that she was speaking of her two angels that were coming to escort her to glory. And I'm just so thankful that God allowed me to witness that and to hear her say that, to give me that assurance that she's with him. And then she actually passed the day before my birthday on September 30th. And on my birthday, I normally go somewhere and pray for maybe a couple hours. I'll either go to a body of water here in Detroit. I may either go to a park or Belle Isle by the water, somewhere. And this particular year, I had rented a room out in advance. And so my sister, she was like, "Kim, I think you should still go to the room." Even though mom had just passed, she was like, "Go to the room." And so I went and I prayed. And God is so good, because he assured me in prayer. He was like, "Kim, where your mom is now is way better than where you are. And where she is, she's not complaining about anything." Because my mom, she was very vocal. She was a woman of excellence. She likes things done a certain way. And if she wasn't happy with something, you would know. So God assured me that she was happy where she was. And I thank God for all the different signs of comfort. But I know during the holidays, it's a time when you really, really miss your loved one. But have you noticed that a lot of people make the transition to be with the Lord during the holidays? That you hear a lot of people passing during the holidays? Well, personal example for me, my aunt, my mom's sister, passed about 5 years ago, and she passed around. It was close to Thanksgiving. It was around November 25th, and then her husband, who she had been married to for 60 years, he passed on Christmas Eve. So I'm like, wow, both of them went home around the holidays. And you hear often of a lot of people that go home around the holidays. But the part that I kind of get sad about is knowing that there are so many people who the holidays used to be such a jovial time, but because their loved one goes on to be with the Lord around the holidays, then it can be a reminder of a sad time. So, but I've always thought to myself, I'm like, with so many people passing during the holidays, during the Christmas season, I personally believe that there is something to that. Because when you think about it, Christmas time is the holiest time of the year. It's the time that the enemy tries to fight against it the most, because you got all kind of commercialism and Saint Nick and all this stuff, and then you got just all kind of craziness. But when you think about it, God sending Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us, and having a day where we celebrate his birth, and it's such a holy time. It's such a holy season. So for God to make the decision to bring our loved ones home around the holy season, I believe that that's a blessing, because God is like, I want you back with me around the time when I'm the most celebrated, that's when I want to call you home. So there has to be something to that. I always say there has to be something to so many loved ones going home around Christmas time. I believe that God never intended us to be weary, sad, or like the scripture says, sorrow not when our loved ones go home. Yes, we're going to miss them because they're no longer with us physically, but we have that blessed assurance that their spirit is forever with the Lord, forever, and that we will see them again, and that they're watching us right now as a cloud of witness. They're watching us run our race, and it's just, we just have to see it as a blessing. The fact that God will call them home during such a holy time, because to me it just shows that the closeness that that person had with the Lord to be called home during the time when God is most celebrated. So God is faithful, and I want to share with you another scripture, and that's John 14 verses 1, 2, 1 and 2. And it reads, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." And this is Jesus speaking, of course. And it says, "In my Father's house there are many mansions. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." So just take comfort knowing that your loved one is in their very own mansion right now. They're living it up. There's no more sorrow. There's no more suffering. They're in a beautiful place, and they're watching over you, and they're happy for you, and they want you to be happy. If your loved one has gone home to be with the Lord during this time, they don't want you sad and discouraged. They want you to celebrate Jesus just like they're forever celebrating Jesus with God. They want you to have joy and take comfort and be happy as you think of the memories you've had with them, the joy they brought your life, the good times, the bad times, and just remember them while still celebrating God, celebrating Jesus. I believe they will want you to be happy. I believe God will want you to be happy because God decided to bring them home with Him during the most holiest time in life. So be encouraged. All right. Again, this is Kim Brooks, and you have a blessed and wonderful day and a Merry Christmas.